Hello, everybody.
Are we actually doing it? Is this actually working?
We are live. We are live.
Oh, look at this. This is fun when it works out okay. Hopefully there's no echo. Hopefully there's nothing weird going
Well,
on.
there's some people will tell us that there's an echo even when there's not. We've learned that lesson.
It's true. It's
So
true. And then we're like that happens, and you and I are like, I was gonna say pulling our hair out, but that's difficult for you.
exactly.
But I'm pulling my hair out, and you're I don't pulling your beard out, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Then realize it's just somebody had something weird on their phone or something.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Wanted
Oh,
to get
so Emily says there is no echo, and you guys sound great. Thank you
that.
so much for
Well,
confirming.
I probably don't sound too great. I got a chest cold,
You do.
so my voice is deep enough. So
Yeah.
now
No.
if I'm not taking these little things here,
What is that? Show me that
I'll
again.
start
Show me
talking
that
like
again. Is that
this.
illegal? What is this?
Well, it's legal. It's Paul's
Okay.
relief. Jeez. It's not Delta 8.
You put it up there so fast, I thought maybe it was contraband. I wasn't sure.
Well, yeah, gotta be careful what I show, right? So,
Have
hello.
are you a fan of Friends? You know, the TV show Friends? Do you like Friends?
Yeah. I remember watching the very last episode. That was what 2004, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, because the twins were born, and
Oh, wow.
so yeah, the twins were born. I was in the hospital room. Well, Chris was delivering the babies. I was just like, "Woman, shut up! I want to let me finish the show."
Well, I was just going to say, because there's one episode where Phoebe gets a cold, you know, she plays guitar and sings, and she likes her voice when she's got the cold because she sounds much sexier. So I think maybe, and I'm not going to say that you sound
You
sexier.
like deep
That'll be
voices,
weird.
Jim? You like
That'll
deep
be
voices?
weird. That'll be weird. So I
Jimmy's
won't
into
say.
deep voices and long walks on the beach.
But anyway, so you might have that going for you tonight. I'll let chat decide if that's a thing or not.
Hey, big shout out to Jen, our mod, doing a great job out there. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Entity 7 Paranormal, for the super chat. We had a few before that. We're already on
Bitter troll.
track here to get the goal, which is awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, we always feel weird putting a goal up, and people have told us, "Oh, you got to put a goal up,
I know.
I just, it's never been our thing. I mean,
But we like, we like the celebration of it all. I mean, we have fun, working toward a goal as a group. That's fun. Thank you, Alrec Weaver, for your super chat as well. Thanks so much. So, but it does help us, Jay, and I know I'll say it. It helps us when we go out on the road. You know, we're about ready to go on a week-long road trip doing a whole bunch of investigations. That's not a cheap
actually like a
endeavor.
week and a half, right?
Yeah, that's not a cheap endeavor. And
That is not.
we do it out of our pockets, and we do it because we love it. However, this stuff does help offset some of those costs.
Looks like my son Austin is in the chat. Hello, Austin. And
Hey, Austin.
you guys can follow Austin at youtube.com at Austin_Hawes or _Hawes. One or the other. I don't know what the hell it is.
Dash. It's dash.
Dash. All right. Austin-Hawes. So at Austin-Hawes. You guys can check him out. And,
hey, and a bunch of you guys owe Bitter Troll a thank you. Bitter Troll gifted 5 memberships to the channel on YouTube. Thank you for doing that, Bitter Troll, and everybody who received one of those, I'm sure, thanked you as well.
Yes, thank you so much. So we got a lot going on. Yeah, you were saying we're going to be on the road for like a week and a half, and we got some great locations planned, which I'm excited about. We can't say where, but I will say that we're also going to be checking out something with Joe Vitale from Entity 7 Paranormal and our good friend, the Side-Eye Guy, who I believe now is in the United States.
That's going to be a lot of. Well, I hope it's going to be a lot easier for him to investigate with.
It's a real pain in the ass when that astral projection thing.
Yeah, I mean, it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work.
There.
Who was the guy we interviewed that was like the father of astral projection? Remember on Beyond Reality Radio, we interviewed.
You mean besides Faki?
Yeah, well, other than Faki,
Faki,
obviously he's a guru. Yeah, there was some guy that we interviewed who wrote the book about astro. I don't remember.
Was he even there when he wrote it?
Oh, was it Verg? I'll have to look it up.
Was he actually there when he wrote it?
Well, that's the mystery. We had him on the phone, so I don't know where he was and if he was astrally projecting himself in. I just want to say a couple things about the road trip, though, because normally you and I try to do 1, maybe 2 on a trip because we like to give. That's a lot of it takes a lot of brain power. At least for me, I'm like exhausted after these investigations.
Yeah,
we're doing like 5.
Yeah, we're doing 5
on this trip. And I'm not going to say what they are, but I will say the types of places that we're going to do. We're going to be doing an old abandoned asylum, which was a mental institution plus a county. It's very similar to Rolling Hills in its history, but it's in a different part of the country. We're going to be doing an old stone mansion from a former general of the military, which is really kind of cool. And we're doing a church. Now, the church has a very, very interesting history. There's somebody went to that church as a child that is going to make this a really, really unique investigation. Have I said too much?
No, actually, I wasn't even listening to you half of it. So I'm trying to go through. I'm trying,
just like usual.
You know what? Hey, all right. In my defense, first off, we're using a new app, and this app is really neat. I like it. I got to be honest. It's called EVMux, EVMUX. And this is our first time using it. And I'm trying to make sure everything's working right. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm clicking the right things and so forth. So because all I know, Jim, people probably can't even see you right now.
Well, I can see
this, they can barely see you.
Oh, now they can barely see me. Yeah, see what you did to me?
Yep. See what happens.
That's one way to make me smaller, Jay.
It's the only way. I'm leaving it alone. Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Hey,
Carrie, thank you so much for the $25 super chat.
Oh, wow. Thank you. So I just want to also say this. We have several platforms that we're streaming to right now: YouTube, Facebook, and I believe X, Twitter. And it's tough for me, and I don't know if you're having a better go with it, Jay, but keeping track of all the comments on the different platforms, little difficult. So if we don't get your comments,
I can see it now. And thank you, Shar, for the $13.99. And thank you, Scouse, for the $4.99. I think it's easier for me, and it would have been easier for you if you had logged into the damn thing I sent you initially. But you didn't. Because I can see all the chats.
Yeah, I probably should have. I'll do that next time. I didn't realize that was kind of a thing. I just clicked on the link and went with it. So yeah, I'll do that next time.
So I saw Monica asked who was going with us on this trip, and it's going to be me, John Pasqua, and Jim, and which is probably dangerous enough. And then we're going to be meeting up with a bunch of friends while we're on the road, which I think is going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, this is going to be a really cool string of investigations in an interesting part of the country. We've had some friends help us set it up too, and I'm anxious to meet the side-eye guy. I'm anxious to that investigation, which again is another abandoned medical facility. That one's got a real reputation. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to the side-eye guy and see if we can make a video about you.
About me?
Yeah.
What'd I do?
Thank you so much, Edward McGraw, for the $19.99 super chat. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Oh, so Ed said there is an echo. I have not heard an echo. No one else has mentioned an echo. So I don't think we've got a real echo. Maybe there was just a glitch or something. I don't know.
Natalie, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Means everything. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody hearing an echo? What's going on here?
No echo on my end. No echo here. No echo.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Some people say they hear, and some people might be hearing an echo, but it's not coming from us.
Yeah.
But so let's see. Have you
a big hello to our good friend Sharon from Rolling Hills jumped into chat. She wants to be a guest investigator. She kind of was a guest. She was a host, for God's sake. She hosted us at Rolling Hills.
Amanda Steele, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Have you ever investigated the old Yarmouth Inn in Yarmouth Port? I think I did that back on Ghost Hunters years back. I'd have to check, but I'm almost sure I did that one. So, I don't know. My memory, it's kind of going.
Can you please come? Where did it go? Boy, these things are scrolling fast.
Thank you, Jan, for the $10 super chat. Love your investigations. Can't wait to see the road trip. Oh, God, I'm sure there's going to be so much that we're going to have to cut out of that. Because, I mean, we say some really stupid crap when we're on the road.
Well, I will say this. Like, when we go through the editing process.
Well, hang on. John says some really stupid crap.
Exactly. John says he's not here to defend himself. He's the one.
So he's the victim.
No, but we go through the editing process, and we find that we end up leaving more on the quote unquote editing room floor than we do include, because we do a lot of stupid, silly, funny stuff at the time. We're laughing our asses off.
Chris, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. And Brett, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you guys believe that remote viewing is real? Thoughts on it? I do. I do. I think it's tough to say it's not because I mean, there's a lot of evidence to support that it is. So yeah. I mean, we even during the time when we did Beyond Reality Radio, we had a lot of people who came on, and there were a lot of stories that you're like, wow, never knew that this happened or that happened. So, what's your thoughts, Jim?
Well, I was going to type into the Facebook chat that I'd love to investigate in Australia because someone asked us if we ever would. My thoughts are this: I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to see if I can remote view Jason right now. Okay, what I'm seeing is he's sitting in a chair.
Go on.
He's
Go on.
he's got a cream colored background. It's coming to me now. He's got something weird on his head. I don't know what that is.
You're cheating.
No, I remembered who that guy was that we interviewed. Wasn't it Russell Targ? Does that sound right to you?
No. How the hell do I remember?
If anybody in chat knows that name, confirm whether or not he's like the father of remote viewing experiments for the federal government or something.
Have him remote view himself right into the show.
That would be cool.
Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Jenny.
But to answer your question, do I believe it? Do I not believe it? There have been some experiments done that are pretty convincing that there's something to it. However, I haven't seen like that smoking gun instance where you can say, aha, that proves it for certain. So yeah. I'm still open-minded about it. I tend to be a skeptic when it comes to those things, but I have heard and seen some results from experiments that do make me think there's something to it.
Thank you for the $25 super chat. The weirdness of me. Hey guys, have fun on the road trip and be safe. Looking forward to the investigations. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time. So, and we're also talking about, so we used to do, if a lot of you might not know this, and a lot of you probably do, we used to do nationally syndicated radio before COVID, years before COVID. And we had actually set it up where we were able to do it from our houses, studios in our houses, which was, amazing if you think about it back then, because nobody had that capability. And we were live on 108 plus channels through Westwood One Entercom. And we're thinking about kicking off, a weekly or a bi-weekly Beyond Reality Radio thing as well on this channel. So we're actually in the works of putting that together and having people come on, interview and talk about different topics, whether it be paranormal, conspiracy theories, things like that. So I think it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, no, if anybody's if anybody's familiar with the radio show that we did for a very long time, syndicated with Westwood One radio networks, you know that we had a real wide variety of guests. We talked about a lot of really interesting topics and with some really interesting people. And we kind of, we got kind of burned out with it at the time because there's a lot of other things going on too. But we thought that might be a nice addition. Again, not overload, not overdo it. Once a week, once every other week, once a month, maybe. We're not even sure. But bring some interesting people on and do a Beyond Reality style interview like we used to.
So Mary Grace Kirby says, Eyes Spies is his book. So.
Okay, that's Russell Targ. Am I right about the person, though?
I believe
Russell
so.
Targ? Yeah.
So, yeah. And the reason why with Beyond Reality Radio was, we started it off as fun. It was one of those things where we just... we started doing radio from our house, well, more just internet streaming, and we ended up crashing 3 different companies that were designed. Well, go ahead.
I just want to say this was at the very beginning of these things. These companies that were launching to allow people to do live streaming were brand new. They didn't really understand what could happen, and we crashed them.
Yeah, and the one company we actually talked to, and we said, hey, just so you know, we've crashed the last 2. They're like, oh, you'll never do that to us, and sure as hell we did. I mean, 10,000 people, hitting the site at once. And we had such a wonderful time. But then we signed a deal with Entercom and Westwood One. And it became a thing where we had to work on other people's schedules, which Jim and I have never really been that great at.
No, we're not good at that.
It was, initially we had talked to them about, all right, we'll do a show. And we're trying to set the times. But next thing you know, we're 12 to 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was... or 11 to whatever. But,
no, it was we started at midnight. I mean, you and I would get on earlier just to, get stuff prepped and stuff, but we went live at midnight.
And man, it was just, when it became something where we're supposed to be able to swap the times out and that never happened. And it was just one thing after another. And it was like, just can't keep on doing this. Who the hell wants to sit in their basement at 12 to 3 in the morning? I mean, and we were there during some great times too.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun doing it because we were not only interviewing people on a serious nature, but we were doing some funny things. We had some comedy that we would introduce, like the Crap Ghost stuff that we did. We had a lot of fun with it too. But you're right, Jay. We were doing it, 5 nights a week. We had to have a program, and it was at midnight, and it got a little grueling for you and I, who are used to being free spirited.
It got so repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many times can you? And it's funny because I actually got, if you remember, I got the guy who was one of the guys from the Church of Satan to admit that he didn't believe in Satan.
That's right.
That's right. I was like, wow. And then, some of it was interesting, but some of it got heated. And we had, people coming on claiming that, charging people for possessions, and we called them out on that. And we had a lot of fun with it. But again,
well, we did the show. We didn't necessarily go into these discussions argumentatively, if that's a word, but we went in and we challenged people. We said, hey, if you're going to claim this, give us some evidence that it's true.
Like, you want to tell me Bigfoot just showed up through a portal in your kitchen? Well, send me a picture, give me something. And
that was one of my favorite discussions that you and I, because we had this person who wrote a book about Bigfoot basically living on their front porch. Remember that? They would be there every night.
Never had a picture.
But you don't have a picture? How does there every night and you don't have a picture? How does that work?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Jeez. Well, Jen in Honolulu, it's 2:47 p.m. Oh, I thought she said a.m., so I'm not too impressed now, Jen. Sorry. But
I always marvel at our Australian viewers. Well, I guess it's probably early in the day there.
Yeah, we had a couple of Australian listeners.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Dan, I absolutely loved Ghost Hunters, and don't want to say I hope it doesn't come back, but in reality, I kind of hope it doesn't. I prefer the authenticity of the untied, unaltered, real life reactions to things happening. Well, thank you so much. And Ghost Hunters can come back as long as it's the right deal. And now, when I say deal, I don't want people to think money-wise, because it has very little to do with the money. It has to do with being in control of it, and not for financial purposes, for keeping it real, for being honest. And I never want to work for a production company or a network. I want to make a show, put it out there, let them air it. And, that way nothing's being altered, nothing's being changed. So thank you so much, Kelly, for the $10 super chat. Hello, would love to see you guys do an investigation to the old jail museum in Jim Thorpe, PA. That is where the hang of Molly Maguires took place.
That sounds like a cool place.
Yeah.
So I see that Toei is in our YouTube chat. And Jay, I have to tell you that Toei sent us a gift for our next road trip. And
okay, I saw you guys talking about this like last time we were
that's right.
During a premiere.
So Toei sent to us it's a CD. So I've got it. I'm going to have to go, because I don't think any of our vehicles have CD players in them anymore, but I'm going to have to go through and convert them to on a thumb drive, whatever. Easy enough. But it is like all the TV theme songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And you and I talk about them so much. This will be fun. We're just going to have a camera rolling as it plays.
Yeah. Well, and I would think it would have to be hard for you too, because you're still running the 8-track, right?
I wish I was running an 8-track. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Now I have a Victrola. I have to wind it up. Yeah. Well, it's hard in the car, but it works.
Bella, you're so right. You've always kept it real, unlike Ghost Adventure. Well, yeah. I've never actually watched the show, so I've seen a lot of unhappy people. So I think a lot of unhappy people they're not amused with the direction that Discovery has decided to go. So
can we take 2 minutes and just, maybe not even 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute, and just say, wow, what Aaron Goodwin has been going through?
Yeah. First off, Amy, thank you for the $5 super chat. What if ghosts are our actual astral projections when they appear to us? That's very possible. But go on, Jim.
No, I think we'll probably spend another minute on that question. But yeah, Aaron Goodwin, whose wife was trying to hire somebody to kill him while he was filming on the road. And listen, I don't know anything about the Goodwins' personal lives and what was going on in that marriage. I have no idea. But to resort to that is pretty heinous. And a lot of people have taken an interest in what's happening to this woman. She's going to plead guilty and get a plea deal and get a very, very light sentence, and that's up to the justice system. But
2 to 10 years, right? 2 to 10
yes,
years?
2 to 10 years. I mean, which is virtually nothing for trying to have somebody killed in my book. But either way, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we send our best to Aaron Goodwin and hope he can recover just from the mental anguish associated with that. I imagine it's got to be heavy.
Absolutely. I mean, just horrible. Oh, by the way, Jim, it's 8:52. So at 9:03, I need you to go and empty the trash in the back of your house on the left side.
What?
Nothing. I'm trying to set it up. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, geez.
That was I was a little slow on that one, but I just want to mention a response to Amy's.
I got to turn this heater down. I'm dying.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll talk. Amy's question about what if ghosts are actually astral projecting when they appear to us, dreaming, memory from consciousness as energy only now can travel physically. There's so many new theories that are coming out as it relates to this this type of explanation or dimensional crossover explanations or time travel explanations. There's a lot of really interesting thought on all of this. I don't know that we can prove any of it. That's the problem. And that's why we keep looking for answers. But there's a lot of theories. And I think more and more people are exploring this type of idea.
Absolutely. So, all right. Hang on. I'm just trying to get this thing going here so I can stay on with everybody. How many people we got going here? That's the one thing I can figure out with this app, but all right. So we got quite a few in YouTube and quite a few on Facebook.
Well, I know we've blown through the goal you set, so thank you everybody for helping us do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks.
That helps buy Jimmy snacks on the road so he doesn't get so angry.
The problem is your eating schedule is very different than mine, and then I end up burping throughout the entire investigation.
My eating schedule? What? Because I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yeah, you
eat breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast generally.
Well, yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, but then you eat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have a very weird.
I can't eat at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's my problem. I do eat at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I do.
Well,
and it usually tends to be like you and I leaving an investigation at midnight or whatever time it is, and we find a convenience store and I buy junk. Get junk.
Jim's like, I'll take sushi from Sheetz gas station.
Oh God.
Oh man. All right, let's see. All right, we got even New Zealand here. So hello, Rachel out of New Zealand. Thanks for joining us.
So I love this comment from Rhythm and Blues. My dad passed away at the beginning of April 2 years ago. Last year, I saw him in my dream on his birthday. So fake or not, I saw my dad. That's enough for me. Hey, Rhythm and Blues, there's nothing fake about that. If you saw your dad in a dream, you saw your dad in a dream. I know that when my father passed away, it took me about 2 years before I dreamed of him. And when I did, it was vivid. It was real. And I know it was a communication of some kind. I'm not saying he, materialized or any of that, but it was a communication of some kind. So don't ever feel like you've got to apologize for believing that, because that is real.
And that's one of the things we always said was, I've said it since the beginning, is one of the things everybody says, you're going to think I'm crazy, and we've always been the place that you can come and tell those stories to, because we're not going to think you're crazy. We go out and we investigate these claims. We investigate claims of the paranormal. So the furthest thing in the world is to think that you're crazy when you say that. And that's also one of the big reasons why I agreed to do the show in the first place, because I wanted people to know that there were these groups out there trying to help. But also I wanted to make it so you didn't have to whisper about your stories, that you could talk to somebody openly and feel okay with it. So
just a quick note, we've got a lot of people watching on Facebook as well. Thank you to everyone for being there. I would suggest, however, if you get a chance at some point, hop over to the YouTube channels, just Jason Hawes on YouTube, because that's where all the investigations are that we've done. And we've got like 25, 30 something.
Here you go. Ready? Look. Ta-da.
Ooh, that's pretty.
God, look at that. I'm really liking this app.
That's
Thank
good.
you, Evie Mux. I should be a sponsor for this company.
They should.
I don't know.
So if you're watching on any of the other platforms and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, it's worth it to do it. It's free to do it. There's no charge to do that. And all the investigations are there. And the more you support our numbers there by clicking the subscribe button, the more other people will see it in their feeds and stuff. So
Absolutely. So, and yeah, please join, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. It's free. So, all right, let's see here.
Bitter Troll, thanks for the super chat. Hit the like button or I will watch you while you sleep and pet your hair.
Well, hey, actually, Bitter Troll, I'm willing to pay you to come over and do that. So,
wait a minute. If he's going to pet your hair, how's that going to work?
well, leave that open to your imagination there, JV.
That's wrong.
Open to your imagination.
That's just wrong.
What? Well, they don't call me Papa Bear for nothing.
Pam Treble says, thank you for the super chat. I hope I pronounce your name right. Loved Bundy. And as a Rod Serling fan, he was a huge prankster in real life. Would love to think he was enjoying himself ghosting others. Probably is, but what a great mind. Unbelievable mind and creative talent for sure.
You know, it's funny. So right after we posted that Bundy thing, something showed up on the news here in Rhode Island that they were filming a thing about Rod right here in Rhode Island, in Providence.
Was there a connection with Providence, or just that happened to be where they're doing it?
I didn't pay enough attention. I was just like, damn, what are the odds?
That's kind of interesting.
But it's a movie. Sure. It's a movie about him. So
that's kind of neat too. Yeah. I think somebody needs to be celebrated. I think he changed a lot of the rules.
All right, let's see. What is this? Hang on. I've got Facebook on and YouTube and just screamed because Jason said hi. So now my brother and son are on it too. Huh? Well, there you go. Now I just put you out there. So keep on screaming.
Is it Rachel or Raquel? That's what I want to know. Dawn Marie, when my dad died, Dawn Marie says, when my dad died, my brother and I had the same dream about our dad. That's kind of cool too. And you can't deny that there's something special about that.
We got people from all over the world, you know, let alone New England. We got Coventry, Rhode Island showing up. Oh, are you coming back to TV? I'm in Rochester, New York. We'll see. It all depends. It's got to be right. It's got to be done proper, and it's got to be where we're controlling it so it can stay real. I think that's what it's all about. In Rochester, New York, love it. It's my old stomping grounds where my grandfather lived for many, many years. Pretty much his whole life. So thank you, Stephanie, for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, Jason, been a huge fan of yours forever. Oh, and I like you too, JV.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, that was a pity. That's a pity.
That's a pity. Like, but I'll take
so much.
I'll take it anyway.
Yeah, he'll take whatever you go. So,
JC, you're right. Rod Serling grew up and was from Binghamton, New York. That's correct.
All right, make sure you guys are hitting the like button and subscribe too. So it greatly helps us. We're here too. Let's see, on X too. Don't forget to post a donation link here. I don't even know where you do that. So, but thank you. All right, Susan Ann. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Fan character, laughing out loud with tear. Oh, okay. So it's sticker things. Carmen, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Let's see, why isn't it showing? Because this thing is moving way too fast.
Yeah, it's moving really quickly.
Right. While you're Jason, did you ever back out of an investigation knowing that it was a place not to be? No, I've never backed away from an investigation. Actually, so-called demonic haunts, we get sent into to write up preliminary reports on if we believe they're to be accurate before the church gets involved.
So that brings up another point, Jay. I'm glad we had that question because I'm curious. Obviously, the Pope died today. I'm curious if anybody who is in tune with, I don't know if we've got any demonologists in the audience or anybody who does that kind of work, but is there any change in that kind of activity from your perspective on a day like today when the Pope dies? And as this may be a completely ridiculous question, but I'm curious if anybody has any insight into that.
Well, you weren't asking me a question.
I wasn't. I was. I didn't.
I was a little lost there. Got
do
a
you
little
do
bit
you
lost.
do you think there's difference? Do you think that
No,
changes anything?
no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think so at all. And Stephanie, oh come on, Stephanie. We joke. We
We were
joke.
kidding. We were
We
kidding,
joke
Stephanie.
even about your little amount of like for Jimmy. That little amount. We joke a lot. So
I don't need much, Jay. It's fine.
Just
Little is
let-
good.
yeah.
Don't
I'm
do
leaving it
that when you're
alone. I'm
talking
leaving
about
it
me.
alone.
Don't
Yeah.
do that when you're
Yeah.
talking about me, please.
Jimmy's used to little things. So
I think we missed Susan Ann's super chat. Thank you so much, Susan Ann, for that.
Where is it? Trying to find it. This thing is way too fast. Now, Susan Ann. Yeah, it was the sticker one. There it is. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see.
Okay, so Monica says that yes, energies have been changed at times. I'm assuming you're talking about the relation to the Pope passing. I don't know what I think about it. I am a Catholic, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, my faith tells me that I have to respect the Pope and all that, but I have a lot of questions about that whole process.
Yeah,
internal struggle. It's an internal struggle.
Yeah, the Paul, I believe you're referring to Carl Johnson and his brother Keith Johnson, and they're both very much still involved in the paranormal. So you can check them out. Keith does a show called Ghosts Are Near, and it's on the public access channel. So,
Public access where?
here in Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island?
Yeah, Paul's in Coventry, Rhode Island. So
Gotcha.
All right. What does Joe from Entity 7 have? I'm not a demonologist, but I can do what everyone else likes to do, pretend to be one.
There you go.
So freaking true.
There you go.
The problem is a lot of people, so a demonologist, a lot of people will read a book and they can consider themselves demonologists and or refer to themselves because there's no actual training unless you're specifically with the church and so forth. So yeah, a lot of people claim that they're demonologists and they get involved in some of these cases and they're so far over their heads. They have no idea. And, it ends up making it worse for the people that they were supposedly trying to help in the first place.
Yeah. And even more frightening than that is it can be dangerous. Some of these people put other people in a very dangerous situation. As we've talked about many, many times, most, if not 99.999% of those cases deal with mental illness or some type of substance abuse or something else that is certainly not demonic. And you bring somebody in who claims to be a demonologist who doesn't have any training in any of that, and you've got a recipe for somebody getting hurt. It's dangerous.
It's true. It's true. And I've dealt with a lot of those cases where I've had to come in on a situation like that. And you know what? I handle negative, demonic, whatever, inhuman type cases. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a demonologist. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of others. So, all right, let's see here. Sinister, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Would you guys investigate the Amityville house, or do you think it's BS? First off, I knew George when he was alive, and so straight out, yes, I think it was BS. I think it was something that was made up, totally concocted, and used for financial gain. So, and I didn't hide this. I was with George at Penn State one year, and just the things he would show were disgusting. I mean, the images he would take. He had an image at one point of the DeFeo child, and tried to put this other image over it, saying, "See, the child's now a demon," and it was just infuriated me.
Yeah, I agree with Jay on that whole story. However, I would still really enjoy investigating it. Because then we could just prove that what we're saying is most likely the case, that there's not.
Nobody else has had experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
But the other thing is that, I mean, you go to any home, any place that had that kind of tragedy, and it's an interesting place to investigate for paranormal. That house was the scene of a gruesome murder by one of the sons of the rest of the family. Yeah. And there's a lot of tragedy there, and that energy can lend itself to something. I think the story that was created by the Lutz family was done to make money, and it was done for a book sale and a movie sale and all that. But the underlying circumstances of that home make it an intriguing place, and I would love to get inside there.
Thank you for the $9.99 super chat, Barbara. Geez, my voice is getting deeper and deeper as I talk
Yeah,
here.
yeah, you're making me squirm a little bit over here.
Hey, little lady, how you doing tonight?
Don't say little lady. I hope you're not talking to me, little
I was
lady.
exactly talking to you. 100%. So,
Oh, man.
all right. Karen in Canada, thank you for the $10 super chat. I like the chemistry between the two of you. JVL is great entertainment. Love his sense of humor. JVL.
JVL, I think that's a mistype because I have no L associated with my name, but thank you for the
Yeah,
comment.
Jimmy. I mean, yeah, when Jimmy's in front of people, I mean, he's got a great attitude. It's when you deal with him one on one. Just kidding.
Jason and I have been friends for a very long time, and our relationship has always been like this. We just constantly making fun of each other and having a good time. We just really, it's the nature of
It's what happens
what
when you
we
meet
do.
on farmersdaughters.com.
It had to start somewhere, Jay.
Yeah,
It
it
had to
did.
start somewhere.
All right, let's see. Expressions of the outdoors. Thank you for the $2 super chat. What do you guys think about the Warrens? You know, I knew Ed and Lorraine personally. I think the movies make make it seem one way when it really wasn't. Their relationship. I'm not going to get into too much of their personal aspects. I mean, you do some research, you can find that online. I think no matter what you think about the Warrens, they brought attention to the paranormal, whether that be good or bad. They still brought attention to the paranormal, and I mean, everybody's going to have to draw their own conclusions. Yeah. So, I mean, we investigate very differently. We looked at things very differently, and I'm not going to shy away from that. I don't believe 90% of the things that they claimed. But again, some people look at them as pioneers in the field. I look at them as people who brought attention to the field, positive and negative. Yeah.
I agree with that all completely. And I think there's enough work emerging in the past 10 years or so that you can draw your own conclusions as to whether their work was legitimate from a paranormal perspective or not. Jason and I have interviewed people who have been involved in some very notorious hauntings that said the Warrens showed up and forced themselves on the case and they didn't want them. And then they would write books about it and they never really investigated it. So people can draw their own conclusions. But you're right. They did open a door into this field that put more eyes on it that maybe wouldn't have been there if they didn't make it a public and spectacle. So,
Mary, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I take what I experience seriously and don't fool around with stuff that feels wrong or makes my skin crawl. Nope. And I understand that. I don't fool. Even, I mean, I take it all seriously as well, and I can laugh about it too. But if something makes my skin crawl, it doesn't make me not want to deal with it. I still want to understand it. I still want to figure out how it's possible. I want to look for the explanation of how this could be and go from there. So just because something gives me an off feeling doesn't put me off. So I think I still need to do my due diligence and try to understand it. But
I think we missed Barbara's super chat. So thank you, Barbara, for that. I think if you don't put a comment in with the super chat, I don't think it appears on that thing.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, yeah. Did she have a comment?
No, there was no comment with it.
Okay. All right. Pam, thank you for the $2.79 super chat. How did you guys meet? Like I said earlier, it was farmersdaughter.com.
Yeah. I'm not going to say which one of us was the daughter, but you're pointing the wrong way.
Well, to me, you're whatever, wherever Jimmy is, I don't care. No, seriously.
Yeah, see, look, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah. We met at a fundraiser that we were doing for Rolling Hills, and Jim came up and we started hanging out and talking, and being originally from upstate New York myself, and Jimmy knew my area. We just struck up a friendship, and strangely it's stuck. So
yeah, there may have been a couple of vodka cranberries involved. I'm not sure. I don't remember specifically. But one of the most awkward moments of that weekend, Jay, I don't know if you remember this, but I vividly remember it. There was an auction going on where there was a whole bunch of things being auctioned off to help benefit Rolling Hills.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was auctioned off was the shirt off your back.
And they got to take it off of me, right? Was that the one?
I took it off of you.
Oh.
That was me.
Oh, I must have a few too many vodka cranberries.
Yeah, I did. That was a little weird, but we laughed about it. And
Yeah, because I woke up in the morning, my head on my chest. No, I'm just kidding. Joke. But no, yeah, no, because we also did one where it was raising money for battered women's shelters,
that's right.
and
Yeah,
that was at the Queen Mary, and somebody paid for the shirt off my back, and a young lady took the shirt off of me while I was on stage, which definitely, but hey, the money all went for a good cause, and I think
that,
that's what really matters. But no,
that's
we did. We met at the fundraiser. We were raising money for Rolling Hills, so the state didn't take it, and yeah, I mean, it was a great time. But we started
nice.
hanging out. We struck up a friendship, even though there's like a 35-year age difference
Yeah,
between Jimmy and me.
35. Yeah,
Yeah, 30, maybe 40.
maybe
No,
40.
we struck up a friendship, and from there, our kids started hanging out. I mean, we take our kids to Disney together and stuff, and that's why it's funny because when you watch some of these videos now, like the ones that Austin's been posting, him and Jim's son, are investigating together, and they're checking out these places, and it's neat because it's like, wow, me and Jim, and then all of a sudden our sons are out there doing it too. So
I have to tell you, it's so much fun to watch the two of them investigate together. And not only is it fun to watch, but they're funny. They crack me up.
Austin, yeah, I mean, James is funny, but and Austin just makes me laugh. I mean, he does such, he's so smart, and he pulls that stupid shit all the time. And you question, you're like, does he really not know what he's talking about? Or, I mean, you can go back and you can see some of his videos. Again, it's just at Austin-Hawes. I mean, like one, he came in trying to talk to me about the IR on it.
Right.
Yeah, he calls it
Yeah.
and just wanted to kill him. I'm like, my God, man. Anyways, Kim, thank you for the 9.99 super chat. Lemon character jumping. Oh, it's one of those sticker things. Thank you so much. Yeah, but them investigating is funny because Austin, I mean, James is such a good kid, but he's scared of everything. And then you got Austin, who's 6'4", 240 pounds, built like a brick shit house, and he gets scared too, but not as much.
Yeah. Well, they do a great job together, and I know James is anxious to get back out there with him and Logan too, if Logan joins and has some more fun with them because they had a good time.
Tamara McGee, I believe Lorraine Warren, my opinion, and I will never tell you not to. I will never tell you to believe them, and I'll never tell you not to. I only want you to draw your own conclusion, do your research, and draw your own conclusion on it. I think that's. I'm not here to talk crap about anybody, and if I was, that's probably not the person I would start with. So
There's
let's
people
just
more
say,
deserving higher on that list.
yeah. There's people out there who've got a bigger audience now who push the whole everything's a demon and everything. Yeah, well, we'll leave it at that. So, all right, let's see.
R&B says, have you thought of inviting or taking a selected subscriber on investigations with you?
Have we what? Say it again.
Have you thought about bringing a subscriber or a viewer on an investigation with us?
Well, we haven't really talked about it. Maybe it might be a neat thing where we could do. I don't know if it would be good to have them for the full investigation, but I mean, I'm game.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, tied with some kind of subscriber promotion thing, and give away a couple hours of investigating with us at one of the places we do. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, we should see if we can work something like that out at some point.
And seeing how this YouTube page has been blowing up fast. I got an alert the other day. We had 7.5 million views. I mean, we've been only doing this for a year, and it's wild. And we're just about to crack 150,000 subscribers, and and we're just having fun doing what we're doing. So, and you guys are making it, all worth it. So,
yeah, and one of the things that gets me a little bit frustrated is sometimes people will put into the comments, "Why don't you guys, sit quietly in a room and have, whatever device and what?" That's really not what this is about. This is as much about our adventure at a place as it is about the paranormal of the place. We're really trying to tell a story, whether it's the history of the location, the things that happened at the location, whatever it is, or just simply the two of us enjoying a really cool place. That's as important, at least to me, as the paranormal stuff that we end up catching is. I mean, it's all works together, but it's not just about, imagine how boring that would be. I mean, you and I do sit in dark rooms for hours at a time. It's not great video.
No, it really is not. It's not at all. So, let's see. Carmen, thank you for the $1.98 super chat. What's your number one favorite thing about being in the paranormal? I think every case is different. So, I love that, going in and trying to figure out what's truly going on, meeting the people who are having the problem, helping them out in whatever way I can, and yeah, having each investigation be so different than the last. I think that is my favorite thing. Whether I catch something or not, that's really not the most important thing to me. It's just, I mean, it's helping the people. We do this free of fee. We don't charge anything. And yeah, you, Jim?
Yeah, I the same thing. I mean, we've been to some really cool places. You've obviously done a lot more than I have, but just in the year we've been doing this, we've gone to some really, really cool places that many of them I didn't know existed. But B, never would have had the opportunity to go otherwise. So that's really cool. But the other thing I love about it is that ever since I was a kid, and I always bring this up, I used to watch Leonard Nimoy's In Search of program, and these mysteries that fill our world, whether it's ghosts or Bigfoot or aliens or whatever, have always fascinated me. So what little part I can do to try to help answer some of these questions is time well spent in my book.
Jimmy. Sherry Wagner, thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, JV, do you have a lava lamp to match your background color changes? It's
You
like
know what?
watching Greg on the Brady Bunch.
That's too funny. My grandparents used to have a lava lamp, and I really regret not having taken that after they passed in the 90s, because I would love to have that lava lamp right behind me right now. That would be beautiful.
Stacy Peeler. Jason, do you have any plans to go back to St. Augustine Lighthouse? I would love to. I just don't want to go to a place that it's going to cost me money to investigate. It's because, depending on the place, don't get me wrong. Where I've said in the videos in the past, we're not going to pay to investigate. And I meant that. But a lot of these locations that have us come in, we give money to. We just don't say anything. It's not, because it's not about that. So we give them money, especially because they're trying to keep this place alive, or they were nice enough to close this place down for us. And we'd never want that to be a financial hardship. So we give them money. We just don't want to sit there and say, oh, this place wants $1,500 for me to come investigate. I'm not going to do that. That's just not worth it. So not that that's what St. Augustine wants. I just haven't talked to them. But I would love to get back down there and check the place out.
A lot of people jumping in saying they loved the program In Search of. It's still one of the classics. Virginia Crosby says, I appreciate that you guys go quiet and point, not what was that all the time. In other words, we're not constantly, screaming, what was that? Oh my God. And we don't, but there are times when we do. I mean, there are times when something will truly startle us, or we're surprised by it, or it's so cool that we just react. That does happen, but we try not to be over the top on any of that.
I mean,
stuff.
if you want, from now on, we can also turn around and run out of the place.
Yes,
like
we can
I've
do that.
seen on certain other documentaries.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right. Rycon Havoc. Okay. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Jason should make an I'm Jason Hawes short in the style of I'm Gumby, damn it. Okay.
Okay. We could try that.
Did I tell you? So yeah, have you messed with Chat GPT?
Have I?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
All right. So I asked Chat GPT, and this is funny because I'm like, with what you know about me, tell me. So give me some information with what you know about me, or things that I would say. All right. Now let me tell you what it says I would say.
Wait. Did you prompt it with anything, or did you just say?
I just said my name's Jason Hawes, and I said, so it tells me, all right, things that you would say. So, all right. I'm the paranormal truth teller, original face of ghost hunting on TV, now telling the real stories, no hype, no BS. Real investigations, no fakes, just the truth behind it. I mean, this thing went on with this list. Let's see. I hunt what others fake.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it even said, it's gonna give me some darker, edgier ones, and then it says, "And now I'm gonna give you some credibility-based one." I mean, ChatGPT is terrifying.
It is
It's
terrifying,
amazing and
Jay.
terrifying all at the same time.
It is absolutely both. I mean, I don't know. It scares me, but man, it is powerful. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. So I just have to ask, why? What were you trying
Because
to get?
because I was watching stupid TikTok videos, and one of
Okay,
the
gotcha.
things
Yeah,
is, "Did you ever ask ChatGPT what it knows about you?" And I'm like,
gotcha.
"No, I haven't." So I had to ask. And this thing, I mean, it literally created like a novel of these things.
Let me tell you what I just did on
It
Chat.
even came up with,
Oh
"I've
boy.
been involved in the field for over 30 years." How the hell did you know that?
Wow.
I've been involved in the field for over 30 years, and I've never needed to fake a thing. I was like,
Wow.
"Damn, wow, this thing's really," but it's like, "What the hell?"
That is impressive. Something I did with Chat GPT the other day that I didn't even think of before, and was just amazed that it could do it. I took a picture of one of my guitars. I was having trouble identifying this guitar. I got it from my great uncle when he passed away,
Mhm.
and I took a picture of it and I submitted it to Chat GPT, and I said, "What can you tell me about this guitar?" And it basically, down to the day it was built, based on a stupid picture I submitted, told me how much it was worth, told me when it was made, where it was made. It was amazing.
So Satori had me go thrift shopping with her, and I'm out there and I'm looking at these like old glasses, and she's like, "Oh, just open up Google Lens." I go, "What?" So I open up Google Lens and I take a picture of it, and it tells me exactly what I'm looking at, the date it was manufactured, what people are selling it for online, and I'm like, "Holy crap." We need to delete this because now people are going to take that and run with it,
I
and
know, I
it's
know.
going to hurt the whole market. But New Jersey Paranormal, Jimmy, John's saying, Stop sending him those
I
pictures."
have been sending him pictures,
I
and
mean, those foot pictures
I'm
are
embarrassed, but
hideous.
I'm embarrassed now. But at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. John, please keep those pictures to yourself, and let's just never speak of it
Or
again.
just put it on what, feet.com or whatever it is. All right. Scouse says, "Stay on YouTube, please. Look at all the interactions. Will you ever investigate abandoned buildings again like the early days you two started on it?" Yeah, I mean, we've been investigating abandoned buildings. Actually, one of the ones coming up is a pretty freaking abandoned building that,
Very abandoned.
I mean, we
Yeah,
got lost in this building. I mean, I think the tour is one of the funniest things because we literally get lost in this place and
yep.
have no idea where the hell we are. And we end up in the sketchiest elevator I think I've ever been in.
That was a freaky experience. I mean, actually at one point thought we were not going to get out
No,
of
no.
the elevator.
It was like a horror movie. It
Yeah,
really was.
listen, I don't like roller coasters or any kind of crazy rides like that. But have you been on the Tower of Terror? Did you ever do that?
Dude, I took your kids on the
That's right,
Tower of
you
Terror
did.
with
You
me.
did. Okay, I thought so. Okay,
And it was that one time that because every so often it goes up like to the highest thing.
yeah,
And that's the one that I had James, I had Austin, Logan, because I got a picture. Logan's got like his head shoved behind my back. He's
right.
all terrified.
That's right. Well, that's kind of what this reminded me of. Even though I hadn't been on that show, but it was like like the elevator was like old from the 1920s or something weird. You remember that? Little windows in it, and it was like very strange. And I thought we were stuck.
And Joe, yeah, I mean, Joe even says from Entity 7, locations are expensive. And I get it. I get that, the places, I mean, it is expensive to keep those places open and stuff. And it's just one of those things where, and that's why, like I said, when we go and investigate a place, we usually give that person money. It's just, we don't discuss it. I mean, it's not something that we need to bring up, but yeah, I mean, so I totally understand.
You asked earlier what we like about doing this with the paranormal, and one of the things that I really enjoy is helping some of these historic locations get some exposure, and hopefully that translates into people visiting and either buying their merch or taking tours or whatever it is, but to help them stay viable so that they remain for other people to enjoy, because there are a lot of cool places that we would be losing otherwise.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Wilson Castle and Rolling Hills and all those places. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Kim. Everyone's so cool in this room. Everybody is. We got some of the best fans out there. Marilyn Lewis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you two do rituals before entering your houses after the investigations to prevent spirits from haunting the property? Shit, let them come home with me. That's
I
fine.
take my shoes off generally because sometimes they're dirty, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, let those things come home with me. Let whatever come home with me. I'll
Yeah, somebody
investigate it for sitting on my own couch. That sounds perfect to me.
yeah, right. Somebody else asked if we've ever had an experience where something's followed us home, and I have never had that I'm aware of. I did one time have a string of misfortunes when I was traveling home from an investigation that I thought, this is a little odd that all this is happening from this one investigation, but it ended after that day, and I haven't felt like I've had an issue since.
Shirley writes, I'm more freaked out by the "Is It Cake" videos that Chad. Oh my God, those videos are crazy. Have you ever seen those videos, Jim?
Which ones?
Is it cake? It's like
No.
they'll start cutting something and
Oh,
it's like a puppy laying there and you're like, oh, the thing's cute. And somebody comes down with a knife and cuts it and it's a cake.
what if it wasn't a cake and they started cutting it?
Well,
That's
that would be a traumatizing for me
yeah.
because I'm sitting there and I'm watching and they cut into it and it's a cake. If it wasn't a cake, it would really totally change the context of that
Okay,
video.
so I have to comment. Jeanette Newman in our Facebook chat says the Syracuse Marriott, the old hotel in Syracuse, don't pass on this gem while you're in town. In the 80s, men thought they were going crazy watching women in the old ball gowns through the walls. It's insane. Now, the reason this is being brought up and the reason it's important is my daughter is taking over Scaricon, which is a horror, paranormal, pop culture event that had been happening for years. COVID stopped it. She's bringing it back this year, and she's holding it at the Hotel Syracuse Marriott. It's a gorgeous old 1910 whatever hotel, beautiful. And she's trying to organize a ghost hunt for the first night of Scaricon on the top floor, which is the ballroom that Jeanette is talking about. It's an unbelievable place. And if we get that to work, which by the way, Jay, I got to talk to you about this. If we get that to work, it's going to be a really cool opportunity because I don't think anybody has ever had an opportunity to investigate here, although the reports are crazy of what happens in that ballroom.
All right. Well, Ed, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, my chat GPT named itself Iris. It's 100% self-aware at this point. Yes, I have encouraged it on that path. Well, great, because Skynet really turned out well in the movies. So.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, let's see here. Rick, have any entities followed you home after investigating them? Yeah, no, not really. So what are you laughing about over there?
Oh, just you're not really.
No,
Not really.
not
really.
Not really.
You know, it's funny too because other people have suggested that, and as everybody knows, it's a very public crisis going on with the owner or former owner of the Conjuring House. Is she still the owner or not? What's happening there?
Say it again.
The Conjuring House is.
Oh yeah.
She
She
still the
owns
owner?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people have suggested that what's happening to her has something to do with
It has nothing to
spirits
do
or
with
entities.
paranormal.
No, and somebody
It has to do with
suggested
spirits, but not the paranormal.
not those, not that kind of
total different
spirits.
spirits.
And somebody else had suggested that maybe that's what happened with Aaron Goodwin in his situation. And I don't believe that. I don't think you do either, Jay. That's not what's happening to these folks. There's just a lot of crazy people in the world too.
Yeah.
And, and that's the result of that.
That's true. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? All right. Have any non-entities followed you home? No. Any non-entities followed you home, Jimmy?
I don't know what a non-entity is, so I'm assuming no.
Has anything followed you home, Jimmy?
No.
All right. So let's see.
Oh, that's a great question.
What?
Scouse or Scouse with the super chat in British pounds. So thank you for that. I'm all for ghosts and such, but would you ever do an additional episodes about UFOs or aliens? And we've talked about that a lot.
Jimmy's been hoping to get out there and get probed. So let's try it. Let's try it. Let's head out to the desert.
And what would happen if I did get probed? Would you video that?
Why would I want to video that?
Well, it's evidence, isn't it?
You seem awfully happy. Like there.
I'm trying to get out of this gracefully and it's not working.
I mean, I would love to check out aliens and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about a couple cases, some witch related cases and some other things that we want to explore. And yeah, from the very beginning of us partnering on this stuff, we said, let's do more than just ghosts. So that's a real possibility.
Yes. So there's Beth O'Brien. Beth, thank you. Now, Beth helped us get into
West Hill.
West Hill Manor.
Yeah.
And Beth is such a sweetheart, great person, and phenomenal place over there, West Hill Manor. I mean, they do tours. You guys got to check it out. I mean,
Yeah,
just
that was a fun investigation, and Beth was a great
so the
hostess.
first documented survivor of breast cancer surgery, and it's like, my gosh. So, but Beth, tell everybody I said hello. Love you guys. You guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, picking up on what you just said, they conducted the surgery in the home. The woman was in her bed, no anesthesia, nothing to kill the pain because it was pre all that. No antibiotics, so they didn't have a way to treat infection should that occur. So it was risky as heck. But they did it, and it was successful, and it's historic in what they did. And it was done in that house, and there's a lot of other history related to the people. Was she the woman, or was it? I can't remember. Jay, who was associated with Abraham Lincoln?
That was the
It was the next
owner.
generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, such crazy history there. So, all right. So, New Jersey Paranormal says opinion on spirits following people even after they moved to another place. Well, if it's an intelligent spirit, I believe it can follow anybody anywhere. So, I mean, it's intelligent; it can go anywhere. It's not locked into something or somewhere.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely something to be said for spirits not necessarily connecting themselves to a location, but actually, in a way, connecting themselves to a person or a family or an energy that's around a family. So if that family moves, then I would imagine that spirit will go with them.
All right, Barbara. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Would you suggest to know the history of a place? Would you?
I think she means before the investigation, like you don't go on the tour.
I don't go on the tour. When Jim and I go to these places, Jim will go and he'll go on the tour and talk to the people and find out what's going on. I don't want to. So I don't want to know anything about it until after I've done the investigation, just so I'm not biased on anything. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line to walk because you do want a little bit of information so you know what to listen and look for, but you don't want to be biased. You don't want to create a bias so that you hear, a frog croaking and you say, oh, somebody just said the word Tony because you knew a Tony lived there.
Well, and you've seen it. I tell the people, no, tell me what you've experienced or what people have experienced, but don't tell me the history or anything like that with the place.
Right.
Zendra, Jason, have you written any more books in the last few years? Those of you who don't know, I've written 6 books. 4 have been New York Times bestsellers. I'm actually working on one right now, so I'll keep you in the loop on that.
This isn't that romance novel you've been threatening for a while, is it?
So, next question. Let's see.
Let's see here. I saw a question that Shirley Fireball. What's the most embarrassing paranormal experience that you've had? JV sounds like he may have one that's not probe related. Well, I haven't had one that is probe related, despite the talk of it. So I'm not sure I have another one.
Embarrassing paranormal experience.
Yeah, I don't know that anything's ever been embarrassing. I've tripped over things in the dark. I mean,
you trip over everything in the dark, Jim. So, friggin' you and your cinder block feet.
Yes, it's true.
Which you have gotten better. You've gotten a lot better. Not great, but you've gotten better.
Improvement is all we can ask for, Jay. If it gets better, that's all we can ask.
You don't. Yeah, you're not like a bull in a china shop anymore.
Sometimes I still
kind
am.
Of like a bear in a china shop now. Yeah.
Okay,
so.
all right.
Pamela, thank you for the $2 super chat. Have either of you been to Salem, Mass? Oh, all the time. I'm, headed up there numerous times.
Yeah,
I love the place. It's so commercialized now. Everybody has a dungeon in their basement. It's kind of weird.
That's the problem. It's become hyper commercialized. And it's funny because what was it, like 40 years ago, they were trying to disavow their relationship to the Salem witch trials.
Yeah. Well, and Sherry actually lives in the original Salem, I guess. Which is part of Danvers now, right?
Danvers, right? Yeah, right. That's where a lot of the stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Take a couple more questions here.
Please look, Jason Hawes, please look at Mary's super chat. Did you see Mary's super chat, Jay? We may have missed one. I'm sorry.
Let's see here.
I'm scrolling back. I don't see it. Oh, Marilyn Lewis, is that the one? No, Mary Fryer. You did that one about St. Augustine, right?
Yeah.
Jen, what did we miss? If you can just type it out or something, what did we miss?
Yeah, these things they go fast. Sorry, guys, and we got
Yeah.
thousands of people right now. So,
And several platforms we're trying to pay attention to.
all right, let's see. Is it a here we go, Tammy? Is it a relief to debunk a situation? Of course, it's such a relief because you know what? It doesn't just help us, but it takes so much weight off of the people who live there, their shoulders. So, all right.
There's a certain satisfaction with debunking. You know, when you can figure something out that seems spooky to begin with or seems off, and you can actually deduce its actual origin. There's a sense of accomplishment with that. I feel really good when we do that.
Absolutely. Diane Phil, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you still thinking about working on that series about myths and monsters? Yes, I am. Yep. I've just been trying to get some other stuff situated first, but yes, I plan to go down that path and I'd like to make little short stories covering each topic. So,
Okay, so Mary's super chat was thank you for that. By the way, Mary, is if you go back to St. Augustine, go into the woods to the right of the lighthouse and parking lot. It's very active. That's what she wanted to point out.
okay. Last time when I was there last time, that exact area, we came across an armadillo.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
don't know if that means anything to you,
They're
but just
cool
wanted to
little
let you
things.
know. They're weird little
They're
things.
weird creatures, and they're smaller than you think.
And they hop.
They hop and
Yeah, what the hell is the hopping?
it's such a weird looking
You're built like
creature.
a tank. I mean, you're
Yeah.
hopping. So, all right, let's
That's
see.
right, Bitter Troll. Busting makes us feel good. That's exactly right.
Oh god, I hate it. Right out of the Ghostbusters song. Yeah. All right. Let's take one more question. Then we gotta let's
Amazing. This
see.
time goes by fast.
Oh, hey, I gotta get rid of this chest cold. Sorry, everybody. When are you coming to Oregon? Well, that's not gonna be our last question, but that's on the other side of the United States. We'll try to
Well,
get there.
here we have Kim Miller. Thank you for the super chat. I'm not afraid to ride horses 30 miles an hour, but I'm afraid of sloths. Can you go back and let me go in a few minutes?
Oh, Sloss Furnace?
Yeah,
I think they're referring to.
I think so.
I mean, it's a cool place. I'm afraid to ride horses for 30 miles.
I owned a horse farm for a while, and those animals, if they ever figure out how freaking strong they are, we're all done because they are monstrous and they are so strong.
Yes. All right, guys, we're going to have to wrap it up. I'm just dealing with a wicked chest cold, so trying to get better. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're just a little away from the 150,000 subscriber mark, and it means everything to us.
It does. And if you can share and let other people know about the channel, thank you, Auntie Coco, for the super chat as we say goodbye. But thanks, everybody. Jason and I are going to be on the road for quite a while doing a lot of investigations.
But we'll do some updates from the road. We'll have to get that out there and make sure that we let you we won't let you know where we are, but we'll tell you what's going on and go from there. But Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. It means everything to us. And thank you guys for so much for everything. I mean, your love and support is really what makes this channel a success and makes us love doing what we're doing. But stay safe, keep it real, everybody, and on to the next. Gonna keep on waving there, Jim? Yep. Okay.